ministers in New Delhi. The BJP Parliamentary Party Executive Committee has been constituted with Prime Minister Modi as the leader of the party, Rajnath Singh as the deputy leader of the party in Lok Sabha, Thawarchand Gehlot as the leader of the party in the Rajya Sabha and Piyush Goyal as the deputy leader of the party in the Rajya Sabha. Cyclone Vayu over East Central Arabian Sea intensifies into a very severe cyclonic storm and is located around 340 kilometers south of Gujarat's Verawal coast. The Met Department says cyclone is very likely to cross the Gujarat coast between Verawal and Diu by tomorrow morning, with wind speed ranging up to 160 kilometers per hour. It is likely to cause heavy rainfall in the coastal districts of Gujarat along with storm surge, which may cause inundation in the low-lying coastal areas of Dwarka, Porbandar, Junagadh, Diu, Gir Somnath, Amreli and Bhavnagar districts at the time of the landfall. Prime Minister Modi has tweeted saying the central government is closely monitoring the situation due to Cyclone Vayu in Gujarat and other parts of India. Says he is constantly in touch with the state governments. The NDRF and other agencies are working round the clock to provide all the possible assistance. Prime Minister Modi also says praying for the safety and the well-being of all those affected by Cyclone Vayu. The government and the local agencies are providing real-time information, which he urges to those in the affected areas to closely follow. The government all prepared to deal with Cyclone Vayu, over 3.5 lakh people being evacuated to safer areas. The National Disaster Response Force has mobilized 35 teams in Gujarat and 4 teams in Diu in coordination with the local administration. The rescue teams of the SDRF, the Army, the Coast Guard and the BSF also in readiness. The Home Affairs Ministry is in continuous touch with the state governments and the central agencies concerned. Indian Coast Guard has formed disaster relief teams and kept on immediate notice at Daman, Dahanu, Mumbai, Murud, Janjira, Ratnagiri, Goa, Karwar, Mangalore, Baipur, Minjinam and Kochi for immediate response to the impending Cyclone Vayu. C-17 from New Delhi to Patna to airlift 154 NDRF personnel and 6 tons of load from Patna to Jamnagar for disaster relief. The Indian Air Force choppers are on a standby at various bases. The Gujarat administration on a high alert to deal with the cyclone, which is likely to hit the state coast near Verawal. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani says people living in the coastal belt would be shifted to safer places. Authorities also aim to shift the livestock to safer places, and separate teams have been formed to expedite the repair work of the roads, removing debris and restoring electricity. Indian Navy says headquarters, Western Naval Command, Mumbai fully geared up to respond expeditiously to developing situation. The state administration, the local district authorities and the Indian Coast Guard authorities directed to caution fishermen against proceeding towards sea in the inclement weather. Fishermen have been advised to not venture into the East Central Arabian Sea and along and off the Maharashtra coast on the 12th, the Northeast Arabian Sea and along and off Gujarat coast on 12th and 13th. While North India reels under severe heat wave, Gujarat, Daman, Diu in the west are under the effect of Cyclone Vayu. The south is receiving monsoon and Ladakh has received surprisingly a fresh spell of snow. Many parts of Jammu and Kashmir received rains and upper reaches the snow. Sonmarg has received 3 inches of snowfall. Snowing at Dras, Zanskar, Pankhinar, Sanku, Rangdum and Meenamarg and raining at Kargil, Chiktan, Waka and Batalik. The Indian Space Research Organisation releases the pictures of the modules of India's second lunar mission Chandrayaan-2. It will be launched on 15th July. Chandrayaan-2 has 3 modules, an orbiter, a lander named Vikram and a rover named Pragyan. The lander Vikram will land on the moon surface. After putting the spacecraft through maneuvers at the Earth end, a journey of over a month and a few more orbital maneuvers as it approaches the Moon, ISRO set September 6th as the day to soft land its landing craft at the lunar South Pole, a region where no agency has got so far. ISRO Chairman Dr. K. Sivan says the cost of Chandrayaan-2 mission, mainly the satellite portion, including the support from foreign agencies as well as for navigation purpose, is 603 crore rupees. The rescue operation for the crashed AN-32 is on in full swing by the Indian Air Force. Additional resources have been mobilized to search survivors. The Garuds of Indian Air Force is part of the recovery party at the crash site where a camp has been established. The National Investigation Agency raided 8 locations in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu over a suspected link between an Islamic State module in Coimbatore and Sri Lanka Easter attacks that killed over 250 people. Acute encephalitis syndrome claimed 31 lives reportedly in Muzaffarpur in Bihar. The superintendent of Sri Krishna Medical College says that total 86 people were admitted, out of which 31 succumbed so far. The West Bengal unit of the BJP is organizing a massive demonstration in Kolkata today. It is organized in protest of killing of the BJP supporters in the post-poll violence in West Bengal and alleged lawlessness in the state. BJP alleges that till now 84 people have been killed. The state government has rejected the claim. The protests are against the alleged misrule of the state government and its inefficiency to stop the post-poll violence. Union Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani attends the consultation meeting on developing standard operating procedures on rescue and rehabilitation of children involved in child labour. Jammu and Kashmir Governor Satyapal Malik says that in the past 1 year, the state has seen strengthening of good governance, Swaraj and empowerment. He said panchayat polls have been held successfully in the state. The governor also said that the state is eager to implement the centre's health policies along with various development projects for Jammu and Srinagar under the carpet, with road and rail being the priority. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi announced that madrasas will be connected with formal education and the mainstream education so that those children studying there can also contribute to the development of society. The Royal Courts of Justice in London denies bail to Nirav Modi in the PNB scam case. This was the 4th bail application at the UK court that was rejected. The Tribal Affairs Ministry has launched 2 portals as part of the e-governance initiatives of the Modi government. The DBT Tribal and the NGO Grants online application will bring greater transparency and efficiency. Students from scheduled tribes can apply and avail scholarship from the website, and it can be accessed by the state as well as the centre. Senior Naxal operative Kiran Kumar and his wife Narmada are detained by Maharashtra police from Sironcha in Gadchiroli. The Maharashtra police was on the lookout for the couple in connection with another attack in Gadchiroli's Kurkeda area on the 1st of May, in which 15 quick response team personnel and the driver of their vehicle were killed. The government has decided to act to curb the rising prices of arhar dal. The decisions were taken in a meeting called by the Union Food Minister Ram Vilas Paswan with the officials of Agriculture, Commerce, Food and Consumer Affairs. Indian indices finished the day on a negative note. At close, the Sensex was down 193.65 points at 39,756.81. The Nifty was down 59.4 points at 11,906. About 1,022 shares have advanced, 1,462 shares declined, and 164 shares are unchanged. The rupee gained 12 paise at 69.32 per dollar against the previous close 69.44. Gold prices rose by 188 rupees to 32,820 rupees per 10 gram. The silver futures traded 0.51% higher at 36,924 per kilogram. While the eradication of societal evils and alleviation of poverty remains a top priority, the World Day Against Child Labour is being observed today to raise awareness about the plight of child labourers worldwide. Celebrated on the 10th day of the bright half of the moon, several devotees filled the ghats of the river Ganga to take a dip in the holy river on the occasion of Ganga Dasahara. Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sikh Museum exhibiting Sikh culture and tradition has opened in the heart of state's capital city Ranchi on the Shahidi Divas of Sikh's Guru Arjan Dev. In a recent circular released by the concerned authority, visitors who spend more than 3 hours at the Taj Mahal will now be charged an additional fee. Also, it is likely to cost heavily on tourism. With Chief Minister Manohar Lal's approval, the construction of 6 new nursing colleges in various districts of Haryana will begin to overcome the shortage of trained and qualified nursing personnel and provide 24 hours medical care to the people. These nursing colleges will be constructed within a period of 15 months. To meet the requirement of drinking water, farm sector and industries, the Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will inaugurate the Kaleshwaram Lift Irrigation Project on 21st of this month. Greeted with a traditional welcome, the American Navy's San Antonio-class landing platform dock has arrived at Visakhapatnam for a 4-day port visit. The ship would also be undertaking a passage exercise with INS Ranvijay while departing Visakhapatnam on 14th of this month. The Bihar cabinet has decided to give government jobs to the dependents of martyrs of Pulwama and Kupwara terror attacks who belong to the state. In the cabinet meeting chaired by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, the Bihar government has stamped the decision to punish wards who abandon their elderly parents with jail term. The cases against the wards of elderly people will be lodged under the non-bailable section in the state. Computer scientists in southwest England are trying to recreate augmented and virtual reality technology inside a real-life telegraph station used during wartime. So far, the team has created several mixed reality puzzles. A team of researchers led by an Indian-American scientist are working on a vaccine for Alzheimer's disease that causes brain cells to degenerate and die, especially in old people. A research conducted in France says that people worldwide could be ingesting 5 grams of microscopic plastic particles every week, equivalent in the weight to a credit card. Studies conducted in the US show that if healthy people take HIV drugs every day, it reduces their chances of being infected by an HIV-positive partner or from injection drug use. According to new data from the World Health Organization, 1 in 5 people living in conflict zones have mental health conditions. Women are more likely to be affected than men, and the burden rises with age. WhatsApp will start taking legal action from 7th December against individuals and companies sending out bulk messages for non-personal use in the violation of its service terms. Facebook has launched an application named Study that pays users to share information about which applications they are using. This will give the social media giant an insight into how people use its competitors' services. Apple has a backup plan to manufacture all the iPhones bound for the US outside of China if the US-China trade war gets out of hand. Twitter has launched its first consumer marketing campaign in India titled We Tweet to emphasize on young people's minds across the country. India's 4th largest IT services firm, the Wipro, has flagged increased protectionism and risk of a global trade war among factors that could adversely affect its business. Tens of thousands of protesters paralyzed central Hong Kong, blocking major roads in a defiant show of strength against government plans to allow extraditions to China. Dozens of Hong Kong residents staying in Taiwan also staged protest against the controversial extradition bill in front of the Hong Kong Trade Office in Taiwan's capital, Taipei. The legislative session for the second reading of the controversial extradition bill postponed as protesters blocked entry to the chamber and the government headquarters. Amid mass support, China expresses firm support for Hong Kong government. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson reiterates the central government's firm support for Hong Kong government to pass the extradition law. US President Donald Trump says he was looking into the possibility of granting temporary asylum to thousands of Venezuelans who have fled to the US amid political turmoil in the country. US President Donald Trump signs an executive order directing federal agencies to streamline regulations governing agricultural biotechnology. He says the order would speed up reviews of biotechnology so that farmers can get access to critical scientific advances faster. United States imposes sanctions on some Air Force, a Syrian industrialist behind high-end developments, for allegedly enriching President Bashar al-Assad. The U.S. State Department has said that the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will discuss an ambitious agenda for the U.S.-India strategic partnership when on meeting Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar later this month in New Delhi. Mike Pompeo announced his visit to India yesterday. French President Emmanuel Macron says he would support German Chancellor Angela Merkel if she wanted to be the head of the European Union's executive body. He says that European Union needs someone strong at the helm of European Commission. However, he would not try to influence Angela Merkel. In Sudan, protest leaders agreed to end their civil disobedience campaign launched after a crackdown on demonstrators and resume talks with Sudan's ruling generals. In Japan, sexual abuse survivors and supporters rally in 9 cities across the country urging for reforms in the nation's anti-rape law. Italy passes an emergency decree limiting the entry of ships into its territorial waters, a move aimed at curbing the activity of migrant rescue boats operated by charities. China's National Bureau of Statistics records a rise in country's consumer price index, a main gauge of inflation, by 2.7% this year, with 0.2% in May. Food prices climbed 7.7% this year. China appoints diplomat Sun Weidong as its new envoy to India. Weidong, who also served as the ambassador to Pakistan, is currently the Director General of the Policy and Planning Department of the Chinese Foreign Ministry. Theresa May announces plans to eliminate Britain's net contribution to climate change by 2050. This will intensify Britain's push to drastically reduce the carbon emissions. Japan joins Britain in pledging to become carbon neutral by 2050 as the world races to prevent catastrophic climate change. Russian investigative journalist Ivan Golunov walks free after authorities in Moscow dropped drug charges against him. The 36-year-old journalist was charged with attempting to deal a large amount of drugs. After his release, Ivan Golunov thanks his supporters and demands an investigation into his arrest on drug charges to continue. In Afghanistan, 6 civilians die in a bomb explosion in Kandahar province. According to police, the blast took place after a bomb planted by terrorists on a road in the district struck a car. All the victims were members of one family. The Syrian civil defense rescue workers pull out bodies from the rubble of destroyed houses after airstrikes in Syria's rebel-held Idlib province killed several people. Wicketkeeper batsman Rishabh Pant has been brought in as cover for the injured Shikhar Dhawan in India's World Cup squad. His arrival will be a day before India's game against New Zealand. Virat Kohli is the sole Indian in the Forbes list of world's highest paid athletes. He occupies the 100th spot with estimated annual earnings of $25 million. He earns $21 million from endorsements and $4 million from salary and winnings. In the ICC World Cup, defending champions Australia are taking on Pakistan in Taunton. Pakistan won the toss and decided to field first. Australia sets target of 308 for Pakistan. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka settled for a point each as their match in the ICC Cricket World Cup was abandoned due to rain. It was the second consecutive match called off due to rain. 2 Sri Lanka games against Pakistan and Bangladesh in Bristol have been abandoned. The game between South Africa and West Indies was called off after 7.3 overs leading to calls for a reserve day. ICC's outgoing chief executive David Richardson said that keeping a reserve day for every rain-affected World Cup match is practically impossible considering the length of the tournament. The ICC has been forced to provide every cricketer of participating nations of the World Cup with Sky Sports subscription vouchers, as Sky Sports coverage of the World Cup has been mostly out of bounds due to the high subscription rates. India off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin said that Virat Kohli-led team would dominate the ongoing World Cup like Australia did in 2003 and 2007. He also said that India's spinning duo of Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav have been doing quite well. Mitchell Marsh will join Australian World Cup squad as a backup for injured Marcus Stoinis. Stoinis suffered a side strain in the match against India. Jemima Rodrigues has become the third Indian to play Kia Super League after Yorkshire Diamonds signed her. Smriti Mandhana and Harmanpreet Kaur are the other two. Mexico, with a 4-3 win over Uzbekistan, avoided the wooden spoon to finish 7th in the FI8 Series Finals. The Uzbeks finished 8th after failing to register a single point in the tournament. Football superstar Lionel Messi dethroned 5-division boxing world champion Floyd Mayweather as the highest-paid athlete over the past year. This is according to the annual list published by business magazine The Forbes. The United States began their trophy defense in style with 13-0 thrashing of Thailand in the Women's World Cup. The US scored 10 goals in the second half as they eclipsed Germany's 11-0 win over Argentina in 2007. Jill Roord headed home from close range as the Netherlands beat New Zealand 1-0 in the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup in France. The victory lifts the European champions into a tie with Canada in Group E. FIFA announced that over 1 million tickets have been allocated worldwide for the ongoing 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France. 14 out of the 52 matches have been sold out, including the tournament opener between host France and South Korea. Italy defeated a determined Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-1 in Euro 2020 qualifying thanks to a late winner from Marco Verratti. Elsewhere, Germany made light work of Estonia with a thundering 8-0 victory in Mainz, while France had a trouble-free 4-0 win away to Minos Andorra. The second edition of India Open International Taekwondo Championship was inaugurated by the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, V. Srinivas Gaud, in Hyderabad. The event is being conducted by the Taekwondo Federation of India. Japan on Wednesday marked 100 days to go for this year's Rugby World Cup. The sport's 4-yearly global showpiece kicks off on 20th September, with the host taking on Russia in Tokyo. Newly appointed Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju has directed all the Sports Authority of India regional centres to plant saplings of trees specific to their areas inside campuses as part of a clean and green campaign. The 119th US Open at Pebble Beach has the makings of a classic as Tiger Woods returns to the scene. He would take on a new generation of stars led by two-time defending champion Brooks Koepka. And with that, it's a wrap on the Express News, and that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. But for all the latest news and updates, you can always follow us on our YouTube and Twitter. Our YouTube channel is DD News Official. Thanks very much for being with us.